All right, we are here with Bill Philputt, who's an organizer with Days of the Dead. Bill, thanks so much for being with us. Tell us, for folks out there that aren't familiar with Days of the Dead, tell folks a little bit about what it is.
It's a horror convention that I started about a year ago in Indianapolis, where I'm from.
Oh, wow.
You know, it's an excuse to go home and, you know, kick it there.
Yeah.
But, you know, it went well, so we added Atlanta. That went well. We added Chicago. That's going well.
Okay.
So we added a Los Angeles convention for next April.
Wow, okay.
April 5th, 6th, and 7th.
All right. The horror genre is kind of an interesting genre. You know, some people really like it, some people don't like it so much. What do you think it is about the horror genre that is just that still brings out fans? I mean, obviously you're able to fill a number of conventions.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think it is that kind of draws people to that?
Just their you know, their love for the material. You know, I grew up with it. You know, so it's like, you know, you grow up with your favorite stuffed animal, whatever. I grew up with scary movies and had awesome, cool parents that would take me to see whatever I wanted to in theaters at a very young age. So, you know, I think, you know, as long as there's fandom, then, you know, horror conventions will live and thrive.
All right. Well, Bill, of course, right now behind us you can see we are in front of the marquee here at the Beverly Cinema. You see They Live with Roddy Piper in person. And so this is actually an example of one of the things that you're kind of involved in organizing. And tell us a little bit about this event in particular.
Well, it started with, actually later this evening, we're showing an extended cut of the film Nightbreed, Clive Barker's Nightbreed. And I put that together. And we sold that out pretty quickly.
Wow.
And actually, Roddy was in town. I'm like, hey, Roddy, would you want to do a They Live screening like next week?
Wow.
And he's like, you know, sure, let's do it. So, you know, I called Michael at the New Beverly, and he was able to get a print. And we put it together quickly, and, you know, it's sold out less than a week.
Wow. So you actually, to your credit, I mean, you organized this in about a week or so. I mean, that's amazing.
Less than a week. Less than a week. 6 days, yeah.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah.
And you guys actually scored an actual print, not just a Blu-ray projection or something like that.
Exactly.
Wow.
It still has the little crackly, you know. So yeah, it's good. And you know, there's it was 300 some plus seats. You know, it's sold out. So, you know, I wasn't expecting. I didn't know what to expect, but as I got here and the line was around the block, I was like, you know, pumped.
They Live's amazing, I think, in the sense that it's kind of a cult classic, but some of the memes in it, so to speak, have really lived on. I mean, the Shepard Farley, the Obey meme that kind of lived on, the you know, just some of the classic lines from this movie too. I mean, just amazing how you know, decades later you still see kids walking around quoting this movie. I mean, it.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I travel a lot with Roddy, and you know, I hear that story about, you know, the bubblegum line.
Yeah.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows the movies. They know the lines. You know, I mean, there's stuff that I've learned from fans, you know, so, you know. And actually, this movie was my introduction to Roddy Piper, because, you know, at my age, I was all about Star Wars, and wrestling just wasn't my thing at the time. I knew, you know, all that was, and then, you know, as I've gotten older, I've definitely learned to appreciate it, and I've gone back, and, you know, I watched the Coconut and the Jimmy Snuka, and, you know, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Bill, I want to talk to you real specifically about the April 2013 convention that you guys are going to be having. You guys are billing it, in essence, as the biggest horror convention ever. So that is a pretty tall order, Bill. And so I want to make sure that we're not misquoting you when you're really going big with this one.
Well, what we're doing is, it's at the LA Convention Center, and what we're doing is, I mean, LA is a tough market anyways.
Yeah.
So what we're doing is, we're like, okay, what kind of guest list can we get? And I'm like, well, let's get everybody. It's like, well, how can you do that? It's like, well, every day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we'll have a different guest list.
Okay.
So if you come Saturday, no one from Friday is going to be there. No one from Sunday, you know.
So there's a real incentive to get the 3-day pass, unlike some of the other conventions where the same folks rotate.
Yeah, and then even Saturday, we're going to stretch the hours a little bit and maybe do like shifts, like a 5-hour shift. Okay. And like they do at Comic-Con, you know, they give people like 4 or 5 hour shifts, in and out. There's going to be a lot of people there that don't normally do conventions, that you know, we'll come and do this just for charity. Like we're
Okay.
pushing the charity angle
Yeah.
a lot. You know,
Yeah.
we have the Scare Foundation, Scares That Care, and there'll be a couple more announced soon.
Yeah, well, I know we
So-
talked off camera earlier about some of the kind of charitable or philanthropic work that you guys support, which is great to hear that. We commend you on all that stuff, so that's great. Well, so it's kind of early. I mean, here we are many months in advance, or actually many, many months in advance of this date. But so at this point, you probably don't really have talent locked down or anything, but folks out there can expect to see actors, producers from the horror genre.
Even if they're not guests, I mean, we're inviting people just to walk around. We're inviting, and it's not just, you know, autographs. So it's also going to be on the second floor. It's going to be a tattoo convention.
Oh wow, okay.
So you got horror on the bottom, tattoos on the top.
Okay.
I think it's a slogan in a bar, isn't it?
Okay.
And then you know, we're going to be doing events like this all through the year.
Okay.
I mean, we'd love to do one like once a month.
Yeah, okay.
And you're just leading up to it. I mean, the reason that we announced it so far in advance is it's going to take us that long just to nail it. You know,
Get
I
some
mean,
buzz going. Here in Los Angeles, April 2013, the biggest horror convention ever. You don't want to miss it. So thanks again, Bill, for your time, man. All right.